G'day guys, how's it going? Yes, this is a poker vlog. I know I've been a bit slack lately, but we're trying to get back into it. Been busy and just a lot of things happening. But I've actually got a comedy gig on tonight. I've got a 10-minute slot. I'm actually the feature act there, so going to give that a bit of a crack, see how we go. And then hopefully we'll be playing a little bit of poker at the casino afterwards. I did have a game last night in a tournament. I don't put the tournaments up. I don't play in very many, but I decided to go in the big $250, what do they call it, Mad Monday or Big Monday. They have it once a month. So I decided to go in that one. Ended up coming 11th for $500, so I got a little bit back there. But going to go and have a couple of beers now. Calm my nerves down a bit, even though I'm on this big diet. That's a lot. Sorry for clogging up the channel with my diet things. Ultimate Sweat Challenge, but that's about to finish. Got about 2 weeks to go. And then that'll be the end of that. So it'll just be poker vlogs from then on. So we're going to have a couple of beers, go and get ready, practice up what I've got to say. Hopefully I can remember 10 minutes worth. And head off to the casino. Catch you guys in a minute.
Gentlemen, can we get a bit of a drum roll going on the floor? Can we get a bit of a drum roll going on the floor? We get that to our guys. Can we get it to a round of applause? And give it up for your final round for this record. It is Mark Martin!
G'day everyone, how's it going? Hang on, I'm filming this with my daughter. She's in Bendigo. She's never seen how shit I am before. So, buddy, everyone else has been picking on you. If you can just hold that with the tag. Don't touch anything. No, the tag, it's facing that way, see? Hold that there. You can put it on your knee if it gets too heavy. That's right, I am a taxi driver. In fact, I am the last fair dinkum Australian cab driver left in Adelaide. So, tonight you've got the angry cabbie. I'm going to tell you everything that pisses me off about being a cab driver. And the main thing that annoys me is customers. Every time they get in the cab, they ask the same bloody questions. How's your night been? What time did you get started? Have you been busy? As if any of you actually give a fuck. So this is what I do now. As soon as someone gets in the cab, I tell them straight off, I'm having a good night. I started at 6. I've been busy. I've been driving a cab for 16 years. My blood group's A positive. I got circumcised at birth. I'm knocking off at 6 in the morning. Now sit down and shut the fuck up. So comedy night went pretty good. Had a good night. Remembered all my lines and shit. So yeah, had a few people coming up how they liked it. So off to play poker now. You think I can find a bloody cab? Being a taxi driver, you think I'd know where to go. Can't find one. We'll try here on North Terrace and probably should walk a bit. It's only about 800 metres up there, but we'll see what happens. So we'll catch you guys later with the poker section.
So Tuesday night they got tournament night, so they got 3 tables still going with the tournament, and take that back, they've got 2 tables going with the tournament, 1 Omaha and 2 tables at 2-2, all full up at the moment, so we're waiting on the waiting list. So just finishing up, guys, a bit of an up and down night. Got caught with a couple of good hands and I just couldn't look. There's one in the hand reviews that you'll see where the flop was 9-10 jack and I had a pair of queens and there was 2 big raises. Don't know if it was a good fold or a bad fold, but I ended up folding after going in the tank for a while. Other guy ended up having 7-9 for the straight, so probably a good fold in the end, not too sure. But overall, not too bad. In for 500, out for $609. So nice little profit there of $109. Put the chips up there. There's another black on the bottom there, so not a bad night. Good to win again. I think we lost last time about 3 or 4 weeks ago, so back in the winner's circle. Catch you guys real soon. See ya. So just before we get going with the hand reviews, a bit about the game. Had this Asian guy, Jerry, just got knocked out of the tournament that was being played that night. Played him a few times. He's very aggressive. I'd call him loose aggressive. Knows what he's doing though. He has a crack. So I've got him in the game. He's sitting at seat 3 and I'm down at seat 7. We got into a few hands together, and then after about an hour he comes, changes seats and goes to sit right on my left. Not where I wanted him, the way he plays. I actually, as soon as he went to my left, I got up and took his seat down the other end. So I think he was wondering what I was doing. But yeah, so that's just a little bit about the game with this Jerry guy. But few interesting hands here. Hand number 3 is probably the most interesting, where maybe I stuffed up, not too sure. I think I did the right thing in the end, but I probably played it a bit soft. But check it out and see what you think. So here we go with hand 1. With this first hand, I'm sitting on the small blind. I've been playing, probably looks like I've been playing pretty tight. I hadn't played too many hands for the first 40 minutes. But just been a bit card dead. We got Jerry sitting over there on seat 3. Just come off of a tournament. Middle-aged Asian guy, fairly loose, aggressive, knows what he's doing a bit, but he gives it a bit of a crack. And he'd been raising just about all the time since he moved across to the table. So I got 4 or 5 here on the small blind. Jerry raises it to 12. I decide to loosen myself up a bit and have a bit of a go. So I just call just to see the flop, and I get a pretty good flop here with 2 flop and 2 pair. So I decide to donk bet. Don't know, maybe I should have been a check raise, not too sure. But Jerry called, guy to my right calls, the others fold. Next card's an 8, not much difference there. Brings in the straight. I bet 35. Jerry ends up folding, so we got rid of him. Next guy to my right raises to 70. Now, this guy didn't look like he really knew what he was doing that much. I decided to check after the river, and he bets $60 this time. Bit of a weird bet, not a big bet, so I just call him. And he had a pair of 8s, so end up taking that one down for a nice little pot. So next hand, I'm on the button, and I get queens. It's the first of 3 times that I get dealt the queens, and I'll let you know I didn't bloody win on them once. Maybe a couple of my raises weren't right, but for the size game, thought they were. So on the button I get my queens, it flat calls around, I'll put in a raise of 17, end up getting 2 other callers, or 3 other callers. Flop comes down, not a disaster for me. I'm thinking I might still be leading with it being ace, ace and a jack. So it checks around to me again. I put in a bet of 35. Guy to my left then does a big raise. we'll get into that in a minute. So about 35. Guy the best raises to 90. The other guy folds. Then guy in seat 5, he goes all in. So that's got me out. Other guy calls all in too. He had full house on the flop, and the other guy had 3 aces. So yep, no good in that one. As usual with these hands, they're pretty well full ring game all the time. I just don't fill up the board here with this app because it looks a bit too crowded. This next one, don't know, I might have stuffed up here, I might have played it too soft. I think in the end I was okay. So I'll get my queens again here, and I'm sort of in middle position. I'll put a raise in the 17. Now that could have been bigger. The size of the game though, it was probably a bit bigger raise than normal. End up getting about 5 bloody callers. Flop comes down. I thought it was pretty good for me. 9, 10 jack, so I'm up and down. I got top pair, so looking pretty good. It checks around to me. I'll bet $45. That guy folds. Another one folds. Then we get a raise to $200. Then the next guy goes $333, and I'm in the tank. So I'm thinking, what's going on here? And I probably went in the tank for about 2 minutes, which is a long time for me. And I end up putting in the fold. I'm thinking one of them's got trips. The other guy's maybe got the straight, so I wasn't too sure. A couple of people in the end thought I was a bit stupid folding it, but as it was, I think I did the right thing in the end. The guy on the big blind had 7-8 and took down the lot, so in the end, maybe a good decision. With this next hand, we've done a seat change here. I've gone up the other end. Old Jerry came and sat to my left. I didn't want him on my left, so I changed straight away into his position. And we get into this hand here where I get queens for the bloody 3rd time. I put in a raise to 22. Guy to my left puts in a raise. He raised up to 45. I decide to do a 4-bet and raise it up to 70. He goes all in, and I've just got a call. He ended up having kings, and I think he got a king on the flop as well. So yep, not a good hand. Having a bit of bad luck with the queens. Now, been showing a few losing hands here, but I'm actually holding my own a bit. I'm just down a little bit when it gets to this hand, and I get dealt a pair of 7s on the button. Jerry sticks in his normal raise up to 22. I decide to stay in it with my 7s. I'm thinking I've got to be due to get something in a minute. So we got about 4 runners there, and I get a very handy flop. I get my set. Get a couple of checks, gets back around to me. I bet 35. It's back to Jerry. He ends up actually folding, which is a bit unusual, and guy to my right ends up calling. Next card's a 2. Now that shows the flush. I'm a little bit scared, but I'm not too sure about the guy to my right. He wasn't that good a player. I'm thinking he hasn't got the flush, but he donk bet straight away. $60, I think it was. Forgot to have a look then. So I pretty well call. I'm going to go all the way with my 7s here. Next card's a king, and no change. He comes and bet 65. Bit of a funny bet really, 65. So I call, and all he had was a pair of jacks. So I take a nice little pot down.